Hello and welcome back. This week's practice is going to focus on the different components that make up the movement that's commonly known as thread the needle. So we're going to start looking at each individual piece, what the supporting arm and shoulder is doing, what the moving arm and shoulder is doing, and what the spine is doing, and what the legs are not doing. And then we're going to eventually bring them all together. In this week's practice, the accessible practice, we're going to be doing this in a chair at a wall so that we can eliminate some complexity, gravity, our own body weight, essentially load. We can go through the motions without putting load on the joints, which is a great thing when you're just starting out or have an injury. All right, so when you're ready, make sure that you have a chair on a non-slip surface and we can get started. Okay, so the first component piece that we're going to look at is the moving arm, all right? So we're going to start with the arm just pointing straight out in front, and then we're going to open it out to the side like a book. We're going to close it, and we're going to open it out to the side like a book. Notice if there's a tendency to shrug the shoulder, try to keep it low. Just relaxed and soft. And another thing I'd like you to pay attention to is where your arm is in space. When you end, your fingertips theoretically should be pointing to the wall directly beside you rather than continuing to move back behind you. Now, it's not actually a big deal if it continues going back, but what I want you to focus on is your ability to recognize where your body part is in space and have what you're trying to do match what you're physically actually doing, okay? So just you getting used to recognizing, yep, I'm straight out to the side, now I'm continuing to move back, okay? So we're gonna try it on the other arm. Okay, so arm is pointing straight out front, and we open it out to the side like a book. I'm hitting the wall. And we bring it back out front. Opening the arm up like a book, noticing the difference in sensation, what it feels like, how you can gauge if you're sending the arm back or if you're actually stopping straight out to the side. Okay, just a couple more repetitions. Okay, one more. Alrighty, so now we're going to check out the spinal twist component of this movement. So what I like to do just to help people really make sure they're isolating the movement through the spine and not the full body, but also not the arms or the head moving, is I have them sitting in a chair, feet are grounded on the floor. We touch the fingertips to just underneath the chin. Forearms can be resting against your chest if they're close enough to each other to do that. You're going to inhale. And on the exhale, you're going to twist to one side. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the other side. And inhale back through center. And one more time, exhale to the other side. All right, so now that we've paid attention to our arm, we've paid attention to our spine, we're gonna combine the two movements, okay? So one hand can just rest on your chest or rest on your thigh, whatever you prefer. We're gonna have the fingers point straight out. We're going to inhale the arm like we did before. And then we're going to exhale to start to twist. Inhale back to center. Put the other arm out. On your next inhale, you're going to open your shoulder like a book. And then once your arm has maybe reached the side, exhale to twist. Inhale back to center. So I'm going to turn to face the side so that you can see this from a different angle. Okay, so arm is straight out front. Inhale the arm out to the side. The arm now stops moving at the shoulder joint. Exhale to twist. Inhale, back to the start. Left hand straight out front. Inhale as you open that arm right out to the side. Exhale as you twist. And inhale back to the start. So what you might notice is that I'm personally choosing to stop my arms straight out to the side. What is then making my fingertips reach further behind me is coming from the fact that my spine is twisting. Okay? So that's kind of what we're looking for here. Now we're going to take this to the wall. So you're going to be sitting forward on your seat so that you're not relying on the backrest and you can sit up nice and tall. Your knees are not going to be touching the wall, but your toes will be touching the wall, just touching the wall. And you should hopefully be at a position where you can put your arms straight out in front of you to be palms flat on the wall. So you can see how we're mimicking that hands and knees position, but we don't have gravity and the weight of our body being carried by our arms. So right now we're just going to visit our shoulder blade movement and stability because we're going to start looking at what the supporting arm is going to be doing as you do the twisting and arm movements we just practiced. So let's start off by keeping the elbows straight but not locked, full palm and finger contact with the wall. We are going to allow the shoulder blades to move towards one another and the spine as the chest moves closer to the wall. And then we're going to exhale as we push away. Okay, and the shoulder blades are moving away from the spine. We're just going to keep following the breath, your own breathing rate, just repeating that motion a few times. And the purpose for practicing this movement for this thread the needle exercise is this supporting arm needs to push away eventually and really create space in that shoulder joint. So we're just playing with that ability to lengthen the limb, create space in the joint, engage that shoulder blade away from the spine, okay? Now let's add, instead of it being entirely a shoulder blade movement, let's let the elbows bend. But feel that resistance with the wall. You're not just collapsing into the wall. Really feel yourself supporting there, because when we eventually get down to the floor, and we're lowering down into the threading the needle part, that supporting arm has to control that lower down to the floor. So we're just engaging in the slightest way as we practice that controlled lower by bending the elbows. Okay, so now that we've practiced both of those with both hands on the wall, we need to mimic a little more what we'd be doing in thread the needle when only one hand is actually on the floor. So let's start with the left, just for fun. Let's start off with our scapular push-ups again. So the elbow is going to stay straight but not locked, and we're going to let the chest move straight towards the wall and straight away from the wall. Okay, we're not adding any twisting yet. We're just letting that shoulder blade move towards the spine and away from the spine. Okay. And then while we're here, let's go ahead and let's do the elbow bend. And just notice how, as I come forward, I'm not curling my back. My torso's just hinging at my hips. Okay, it's really just my elbow that's bending and my body is keeping its original shape and just following. Okay, let's come to the right arm. So scapular push-up on this side, the elbow stays straight but not locked, and we're gonna let the chest move straight towards the wall, straight back, straight towards the wall, straight away from the wall. Okay, you can slow this right down. You don't have to do as many repetitions as me. You can follow your own breathing rate. But the point is that right now we've only got one hand in contact and this shoulder is kind of just floating. This arm's in complete control. Now let's add that bend and just play with that idea of the body lowering towards what will eventually be floor. Okay. All right, one more time. Now let's combine everything, all right? So we're gonna start by moving our right hand off the wall. So we're gonna start by inhaling the arm out to the side, exhaling to twist, inhaling as you come back to center, threading the needle, resting the head and arm against the wall for a moment, and then exhaling as you come back to center. Now, remember that as we open away, we're really pushing through this supporting arm, letting that shoulder blade move away from the spine, creating space in that shoulder joint as we then spin the chest away from that arm and reach this one out to the side. Okay, so let's come and do this on the other side now. So inhale to sweep the left arm out. Exhale as you push away through that right arm and twist through the spine. Inhale, coming back, threading that left arm through as that right elbow bends, letting your head and arm rest on the wall for a moment, and then exhaling as you start to push away from the wall and come back to both hands on the wall, okay? So we're gonna run through that twice more on each side. We're just gonna do continuous right, left, right, left. You don't have to do it as quickly as me. Like I said, follow your own breathing rate, but you will just have me as a guide, all right? So inhale, opening the right arm out, exhaling as you twist away from the wall, creating space in your joints. Inhaling as you come through, threading that needle, left elbow bending, resting the arm and the head against the wall just for a moment, exhaling to come back to all fours. Inhaling the left arm out, exhaling as you push away from that wall, twisting through the spine. Inhaling as you come back through, threading the needle, letting that right elbow bend, resting the head and the arm against the wall for a moment, and then exhaling as you push away and bring the left hand back to the wall. Inhale the right arm out, exhale, opening up into the twist. Inhale, coming back through, bending that left elbow, threading the needle with the right arm, resting the right arm and head, possibly shoulder too, against the wall. Inhaling as you, exhaling, as you come back through to center. Inhale the left arm out, exhaling as you twist, creating space through all the joints. Inhale as you come back through, threading that needle, letting the right elbow bend, resting the left arm and side of your head on the wall for a moment, and then exhaling to come back to neutral. All right, so that is Thread the Needle for today. You can see how we've gone through all the bits and pieces. We broke them down, we built them back up, put them together, and did a full expression of the movement. And you'll notice that by sitting in the chair, our lower body wasn't really overly involved. So hopefully you enjoyed this practice. Feel free to play with it throughout the week. Next week, we will still be at the wall, but we will be in standing. All right, I will see you then.